All right, guys. So here's what you're going to do for your rotation 8 assignment. This is for my students who will be in my classroom on March 2nd and March 3rd of 2022. So if for some reason you're seeing this after that, ignore it because it's probably not going to be the same directions. So just like always, you're going to need to start off in Google Classroom. So you can either do that through the portal, or if you would prefer, you can just open a new tab and come over here to your waffle, which is where all of your Google apps will be, and you can open Classroom this way. All right, once you're in Google Classroom, make sure you find My Classroom. Remember, the profile picture is going to be a flamingo because what else would it be? Make sure you click on the class name to open it. And just like always, it starts you off on Stream, but you're going to need to move over to Classwork. So click on Classwork. If you open rotation 8, it's going to tell you to go back to rotation 7 because that's where your information is. So definitely read over these directions because directions are important and that's why they're there. But I'm not going to do that in this video because you are perfectly capable of reading for yourselves. So I'm going to go back to rotation 7. This is where, if you were here last time, you were doing some research to find some information on a topic of your choice related to world history, and you were putting that information in the Google Doc. Now, you guys really need to click this View Assignment button. For the video, I'm not going to do this because my goal is to put this on my YouTube channel for you guys, and I want to be sure that I'm not displaying student names or information. So I'm going to go straight to the Google Doc, even though there's nothing on it. And we're going to pretend that I've got lots of world history related facts here and that I'm going to use those. So, what you're going to do next is you're going to open a new tab, go to your waffle, and you're going to open Google Slides. Once Google Slides opens, you're going to open a blank project by clicking on the rainbowy plus sign there. Okay. And so this is Google Slides. A lot of you have used Google Slides quite a bit. So I'm not going to do super detailed on how to use this for the sake of time because I want to keep your attention. But I'm going to show you a few basics. So when you open up, it starts you off on looking at some themes that are an option for your project. So you can choose a theme. Something that seems to confuse students is that when you choose a theme, it makes your title slide look one way. So you guys will come up with a much more interesting title for your project. Okay. This first one is like the cover of a book. You have a title, maybe you have who it's by, and maybe a picture, but not necessarily. All right. So that's it. That's all that should be on my title slide. So if I go here to the plus sign, it adds a new slide. So you can see it's got the same colors and it's going to use the same font, but it doesn't look exactly the same. That's what it's supposed to do when you are putting in a theme. It's working exactly like it's supposed to. So I would like you to include in your project 10 facts, not necessarily 10 slides, but 10 facts. Okay. So if you put more than one fact on a slide, you won't have quite as many slides as somebody who just does a fact per slide. That's totally fine. So remember, sixth graders, you were doing world history. Fourth graders, you were doing Florida related history. And fifth grade, you were doing US history. Okay. So when you start typing, okay, maybe I'm going to have my first fact here. Whoops. Okay. Sorry. Unnecessary shift key. If I like the way it looks, I'm going to leave it. But a lot of you are going to look at it and say, wow, I wish my letters looked differently. So, in order to change how your letters look, you have to have a text box or some text selected. Okay, so right now I don't have any of the tools I need for this because I don't have anything selected. So I'm going to click here. Now I've got my tools. Okay, if I haven't started typing yet, I can go up here and set it all up first. Okay, here's my fonts. That's the way the letters look. This is my size. B is bold print. That makes it look really thick. I is italicized. It makes it look like it's leaning to the right. U is an underline. This tool right here will change your text color. Text is the color of your letters. And this is a highlighting tool, okay? If you want to highlight, click it, and you can choose a color to go behind it. I really would recommend staying away from yellow and usually reds on your slides because it's really hard on the eyes when you go to read. All right, so I've made all my selections ahead of time. So when I type, it looks like this. Okay, if I've already typed it and I'm like, I'd kind of like it to look different, what I have to do is I have to select it by clicking and dragging, and then I can go back. I can adjust my fonts. I can adjust the size. I can make it bold or unbold. I can italicize. I can underline. I can adjust the color. If I want to put a highlighting behind it, I can do that. Okay. Now, if you are wanting to put in a picture, you're going to use this icon here. It looks like somebody took a picture of mountains. Click the drop down arrow. Make sure you choose search the web. None of this other stuff is going to work very well. So we're going to click search the web, type in whatever it is you're looking for that is related to your topic. And when you find the picture you want to use, you're going to double click it and be patient. All right, so around the side, I have blue squares. These are called handles. If you need to resize, which means adjust the size of your picture, you're going to put your mouse on a handle so that it turns into the two arrows like you see my mouse doing right now. So then I'm going to click and drag. There we go. And that's the new size. If you want to move it to a different place on your slide, put your mouse on it so you've got the four arrows. Again, click and drag. If you want to get rid of a picture, okay, you've got to make sure you've got your handles. So right now, it wouldn't be getting rid of it because I don't have my handles on my picture. But if you click it so you've got your handles, you can press backspace or delete, and it's going to get rid of that image. If you want to play with the backgrounds, change the backgrounds. A couple ways you can do that. Right now, I have the button at the top that says background. However, if I have a text box selected, it's not going to be there. So if I don't have the word background, what I'm going to do is go to slide, choose change background. Okay, I can do colors, whatever color I want to do. I can choose an image if I would like to. Now, if you do an image for your background, you're going to tell it you want to do a Google image search, type in again what you're looking for. The thing about using an image for your background is you cannot resize it. So I've clicked it and I'm going to click insert, or I could always just double click as well. So once it's there, I'm going to say done. And there I have my background. I cannot adjust the position or the size of the picture if it's done as my background. Okay. All right. So now I have the word background up here again because I don't have any text boxes selected. So same thing. I click background. I can choose a color. I can choose an image, whatever I want to do. Okay. What I would really suggest doing before you get too far, after you've put your title on, go ahead and come up here and click where it says Untitled Presentation. This is going to be your file name. Okay. You see when I click there, it automatically titles it whatever the first thing typed on my slide was. Okay. You can leave that as the name, or if you choose to name it something else that's appropriate, you may do that as well. Just like all of the other Google programs, there is no save button in here because you don't need one. You see right here, it says the last edit was seconds ago. That means every time you add, delete, or change something, it's going to save it. Okay. If you have any questions, I will be back soon to help you with this, and just do the best you can.